As at the time of recording this video is in the evening, so good evening to everybody watching this. So this video is actually a demo on the factory management module that was built by myself, and this video actually addresses what has been done and what is yet to be done. So I can go ahead to show what has been done. So let's add factory. Let's go ahead to add factory. So this is the existing route. However, I created the module I was asked to work on a new route so as not to have conflicting. So we have factory/new to add a new factory. So in order to add a new factory, I'll provide the factory name. So I'm going to say factory test. So we hit the create. So we have here that we are actually working with factory test. We have the total areas, total centers, lines, as well as machines, and we have not available. So this is not implemented yet because I haven't found the direct API to integrate to provide me with the details I need for this. So immediately after creating a factory, I have this card here that says add areas to factory. Add areas to factory. So I can add an area or multiple areas to the factory as the documentation says. So let's say area test or area test 1 is what I want to add. Because the area I created was successfully added, so it means I can go ahead to add a center or centers to that area. So I'm going to go ahead to just add one more. Oops. Let's call it area test 2 and add one more, area test 3. So what I'm adding 3 is just to show the delete and edit functionality. So I want to delete the third one, so I can delete, and it shows area deleted successfully. Let me edit the second one to area test 22, and that should work on the fly also. That's fine. So I can choose to add a center to this area, to each of the areas, as the documentation says. So all I have to do is just click on an area, as this message says here. Click on an area, then come here. It shows that I want to add, or I am adding centers to this particular area. I can click on add new and provide the name of my center, and the name of my center for this case should just be center test 1. Let me go ahead to add another one, center test 2. Okay, so the same functionality also works. The edit and the delete also works. So I'll go ahead to test the edit here. So let's say 2R. So it works. I can decide to add area. I can decide to add centers to this other area test 22. So all I have to do is just click on the area, and it shows that there are no centers to this area. All I can do is just to add another one. So I call it center test 22. I have that. I can also add another one, center test 24. Let's call it 24. Okay, so this works fine also because I have centers already. So I have been given the permission, or I can now add lines to a center. So for me to do that, I can just click on a center and add a line to that particular center. I will go to add new, provide the name of the line. Let's say line test 2, add the line. So the line gets added successfully. I can also edit or delete this line. I can add machine to a line, but what line am I adding the machine to? So if I decide to click add new without selecting a line, the same applies to centers and lines from centers. So if I don't select an area to which I want to add centers to, So I get this same validation I get here. So I say I get, oops, please select a line. Please select a line. So I can decide to add another line test. Let's just call it 22 also. So that works. So I can decide to click on test line test 2 or line test 22 to add a new machine to it. So in order to do that, it's the same procedure. So let's just say machine test 1. I can decide to add machine test 1. So that's pretty much how I can set up my factory. However, I can go back to the areas to a factory. So I can decide to add a new area even after going past that. So I can add area test 4 as a new area, and that works. I have area test 4. If I click on area test 4, I will not see the centers because area test 4 doesn't have any center, obviously. So I can add a new center to test 4, and that works perfectly fine. So if I decide to go back to area test 22, I can see the centers that have been added to the area, as well as area test 1 also. So the same procedure, you can go back and forth until you are completely done with what you are doing. However, you can see this little save handy button I have here. So what this does is it gives the user the ability to either save permanently, that's the default saving, or to save as drafts. So when I click on this, I have this little modal that says, how do you want to save this? So this is still a design in progress rather. So I can choose save, or I can save as drafts. So that's pretty much what has been done so far on the factory management model. So the next step is to, as I said earlier, know the API to integrate with, to get the total number of areas, center lines, and machine on under a factory, So after doing that, we can implement the draft and not. So I sent some of my early how will I call it? So some of the things I noticed when I started the project, so I sent it to Adevonke on WhatsApp already. So I asked her to communicate that to the back end developer. So I hope she does that and we can come to an agreement. So by the way, I added some lines of code to the store file in the factory module. So when I put the code, in order for me to be able to edit on the fly like that. So that's pretty much what has been done so far, and I haven't done the overview. That's the map, something like a map of how the factory is. So I haven't done that also. So I apologize for not being able to keep up with the speed, or not to move fast as I have expected. So it was because of some occurrences which doesn't really happen, but it just came at this time. So I'm really sorry about that. Thank you very much.